Welcome to the show, Cafecito and Tattoos. Machi's Chat Shack with your host, Machi and Brittany Page.
No, so Mike is actually working on the set of Raising Dion right now, which is a huge, huge deal. Big show on Netflix. We're
Absolutely.
so proud of him. How's it going?
I've been getting stretched a lot. Not so much with dialogue. It's just like the emotions and actions and like imagination, because it's a lot of special effects. So I've been getting stretched a lot with my imagination, which is cool because it's like that's what actors. That's what we are. We use our imagination and empathy and vulnerability. So I'm just learning to really tap more into that, working with the kids.
We all know you don't have a lot of empathy.
Yeah, I know.
No, I'm just kidding. Mike is an incredible guy. He really is. I've known Mike for about 7 years. 6 or 7 years now.
Let me see. Yeah, damn. Time flies, don't it?
Isn't that crazy?
Damn.
And Mike has always been a stand-up person. He served in the Air Force for 4 years.
Special ops, right?
Yep, special forces, yep.
And tell us how you got into acting, because it was so quick. And what is so funny, and I like to tell this story, is me and Mike went into business a few years ago, and we did some importing, and that's how we became really close. And
Wait, real quick, what were you guys importing?
We're not going to say. No, I'm kidding. We were importing just like nice items from overseas, and we were selling them here because people weren't able to get the products here in the country. So we were just bringing them here. I had a contact out of Pakistan who made custom coats with fox fur and like really rare types of fur. So I just used my contacts and brought in these gorgeous custom bags and custom jackets, and we killed it for a few months there. And killed it. We killed it. But then life happens, and I was in a relationship with 3 kids. With that, we became really close, and now Mike is one of my dearest friends. What's funny about, before you get into it, Mike, I want to say, Mike's always had a great physique. Mike's really tall and proportionate. He's not like tall and skinny. However, he wasn't in the shape he's in now, which is like phenomenal. And so we had a 90-day competition to see who could get six pack first. And Mike blew me out of the water. And now he's the monster he is today. So I like
Way to
say
represent
that story, you killed it. You absolutely taken full charge of that, and you look amazing. But acting, how did that even start? I don't even think I know the full story with that.
It's crazy. It actually started in Miami. I was signed with Slip and Slide Records down there. Ted Lucas, I know you know about Slip and Slide, and down there, and I was doing it was a film called Magic City, directed by Malcolm Jones, and I was doing the soundtrack for it. So while we in the studio doing the soundtrack, he's just like staring at me, just like. So I'm like, what's wrong with this motherfucker? He was like, man. He's like, I could just see you playing this character. You could just be a character. I was like, a character? He's like, yeah. I do you act? I was like, nah, but shit, I'm sure I could try. And he was like, yeah, man. I'm telling you, man. I just see you playing this character. He was like, and he was like, he's a really shady guy. He's really just a devilish. I was like, well, damn. All right. I'm glad you think I'm a shady looking motherfucker. So he was like, he's very dangerous. He smiles, but he's dangerous. He has like a dangerous side behind the smile. I just see that in you. I'm like, all right, cool. So I went down there. Doing music, I was able to get off book real fast. But I didn't know what I was doing. But I just went in there, and gunplay was in there, and Briscoe, Iceberg, all the rappers from Miami was trying for this role, and they gave me the role. And didn't know what I was doing, but you know, every day on set, they were like, "Oh my God, you're killing it," and I was just like, "All right." And I was working with Flo Rida, so Flo Rida was in the movie too, and I was kind of coaching Flo Rida through the scene. And he was like, "Damn, man, how long you been doing this shit, man?" I was like 3 or 4 weeks. And he was like, "Seriously?" I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Damn." So, you know, I knew Flo Rida from the music industry. And me and him, he always been cool towards me, but we had like a little friction because the label I was with was trying to make another Flo Rida basically, and I was the person they were using it. I didn't realize it, but like, that's a whole other story. So me and Flo Rida at first, it was a little friction, but then once we met in person, he was super cool. So months later, like 7, 8 months later after the film, he texted me one day. He's like, "Where you at, man?" And that was the first time he ever texted me. And I was like, I'm in Florida. Where you at? He's like, "I'm where you supposed to be at. I'm in Hollywood." He's like, "Mike, I'm gonna tell you, man, this is what you're supposed to be doing. No disrespect. You know, your music is cool, but you're supposed to be an actor." So then after I heard it from him, I went to Africa on this like spiritual journey, and it was crazy because like this king.
Did you run into Dave Chappelle out there?
Huh?
Did you run into Dave Chappelle?
Yeah, we both was hiding, man. We was hiding from the man. Me and Dave Chappelle. But this king, I would just like to see this big oracle, and he told me like, you know, this in the message, it was like you're supposed to be like basically an actor. I was like, damn. So when I came back, I think that's when me and Britt had like the whole challenge, and I was like, I'm about to just transform my body. I'm not gonna stop. And then I ended up getting a job as the Wayne Johnson stand-in. So that's how it started, being on set. And this lady was like, "You should be an actor." I said, "I am an actor." She's like, "Sweetie, this is not acting. You're a stand-in. You're standing. You're not acting." So she put me on with an agent, and I went and auditioned for the agent, and they signed me. I booked the first role I auditioned for, and it's been like steamrolling ever since.
No, it's incredible. You've done things like Chicago Med, Atlanta's Dynasty. The one I want to talk about though is, of course, what everybody I'm sure favorite thing, or at least your female viewers, is Ready to Love. I gotta hear about this experience and Shay and how it was, because knowing you, it is just, I mean, I think that is more entertaining than anything, just knowing you and how, I mean, so I'm really good friends with Mike's cousin, and we always joke like Mike's never going to settle down. Like he's just going to be Uncle Mike. And so for him to do that show was hilarious. But you did so well and you look so great. But I just have to hear about this experience.
Wow. Now Ready to Love. So that's like, it's separate because it's like non-scripted. Mm-hmm. What happened was my godfather's daughter was like, "Yo, I got this thing, you know, you're trying to get into acting, you should do it." I was like, "All right, cool." So when I submitted, you know, all my information, they were like, "It's a love show." I was like, "Oh, hell no, I'm not doing no damn love show." And but then it just kept, you know, they were contacting me like, "Hey, we, you know," and then when somebody was like, "Oprah loves you," I was like, "Oprah loves me?" Well, shit, I don't care if this is dog food contest, I'm doing it. But so my sister was like, "Mike, I think you should really give it a shot, give it a try, and you know, just actually be genuine." I was like, "You know what? I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go here and just be open and be real and see what happens." So it started off with me just trying to get, you know, like everybody on reality television is trying to get exposure. But then I eventually opened up to like the possibilities of what could have came from it. So, but it was a wild experience.
Let me ask you, is everyone on there truly trying to get in the game and get into acting, or do you actually have some individuals on there that are truly looking for love?
I think everybody on television is trying to get a platform. I think everybody on television is trying. Because if you go on now, you can be looking for love at the same time. But I think the biggest argument I have with fans, a lot of fans is like, if they see I'm trying to be an actor or somebody else is trying to do, promote their clothing line, it's like, wait a minute, you aren't ready for love. You're trying to promote your clothes. I'm like, I could chew gum and walk at the same time, Goofy. I mean, Denzel Washington's married and he got 700 damn movies. So how come I can't want to love and be on TV? Shit. So, but I mean, but you got some people that was just playing games. They already had relationships coming on to the show, because it was like once the show ended, miraculously, all these people that was on the show get married to somebody out of nowhere. It's like, did you just meet this person?
Stop.
So like, there's some people that was just full of shit. Can I cuss on here?
Yeah, please.
You're good. You're in good company.
I love cursing. So yeah, it was some people that was full of shit. But I think everybody, I know everybody that goes on, I don't care if you're going on Ayanna Fix My Life. You can really be trying to get your problems fixed, but your ass want to be on TV because you can do that privately. You know what I'm saying? So I don't believe anybody in the world that does reality television. And it's okay that we want a platform. It's okay you want a platform because shit, it's some good people that need a platform. So when they say things that mean something, more people listen to it. So I think this, it's a balance for me.
Did your boys give you a hard time for going on the show?
Yes, they did.
I knew it.
Mike ready to love. Look at this motherfucker,
I could only imagine.
Oh my God.
Only imagine.
Because everybody's girlfriend and wife, like dating shows, realistically, like the only people that are really like the core fan base is women and gay men. That's the core fan base of dating shows. So the guys I meet at the gym is like, hey, wait a minute, man, you that motherfucker from the show, man. My girl had made me watch the show. That's every dude I meet, My girl made me watch that shit, man. It was good, man. And, what was up with that one girl, man? Was that ass real or not? I'm like, bruh.
Oh my gosh.
That's the question. Men and women, we so different. Like,
hey, no, but that is true, man. That is true because my wife, she loves reality TV, and I'm really not a fan, to be quite honest. But she makes me watch it, so I end up actually getting into the show at some point more than her because I'm like that shit can be real, and we start going back and forth. So I get it completely. Yeah,
that's how I started watching Sex and the City. I was dating this girl a long time ago. And she was like, when Sex and the City come on, everybody shut the hell up. And I'm like, man, this is little corny shit. So I started watching it. Before I knew it, I had my little characters. And I'm like, Charlotte's my girl and Samantha's is no, girl, don't do it. I turned to one of the ladies. Don't trust him, girl. He ain't right. You just, you start taking the show over from
the... Pick it up. Don't worry about it.
No, sorry.
Pick it up, bro. We want to know what's going on in your life.
That's an actor. Y'all want to hear him? It's an actor. Y'all want me to pick it up? Hold on.
Put him on.
Oh, shit. I'm going to put him on the phone. He's probably on set calling me. He's one of the guys I train.
He probably forgot his lines and needs your help.
And he booked the show called BMF, the new show of 50 Cent.
My brother.
What up, man? What you got going on?
Nothing but cracking, man. Just checking up on you, bro. I had wardrobe day today.
Hey,
I thought about you, man.
That boy on.
Thanking you and stuff.
Hey, man, you ain't got to thank me. You did the work, brother. You did the work.
What you up to, man?
I'm on the podcast. You on here live right now. Everybody can hear you.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot, man. What's up, everybody?
Hi,
what's up?
What's going on, man? I'm gonna let you do your thing, bro. Just hit me later.
All right, congratulations. We can't say what it is, but congratulations on the gig. I'm gonna hit you because I need you for an audition I'm doing.
All right, bet. Just let me know.
All right, bro. Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, he gets first television booking. One of my students. I should say students because we're all students of life. Yeah.
A protege, maybe.
You know what? I like that word. That sounds cool.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. You really have taken this and ran with it. And it's so cool to have watched that whole thing just kind of blossom into what it's become. And I remember when you went to Africa the first time and had nothing to do with acting, absolutely nothing. It was very much a spiritual journey. You went for a month, right?
Yep, went for a month.
And then ended up staying like 10 days extra. I was so mad. I was like, you said you were coming home and then you would never come home. But it was just so cool to hear about all that. But what's really cool is how you were able to go back and film the Kings of Joburg. And that is the #1 show in Africa on Netflix. And so bravo. It's very exciting.
Yes.
How is it different filming in Africa versus here? How are things are they similar? Are they different? Do they treat you better? Do they treat you, or like what is the big differences in filming in different countries like that?
Man, I just love. I'm so big on like other people's culture, so I was just excited to see, just how they do things over there. But it's definitely very similar. What's the difference? The difference is, I think we have more access to technology and we lean more on technology over here, to whereas they don't have as much, so they have to lean on their imaginations a little bit more. Now, South Africa is not so much, because South Africa is more advanced than Nigeria. I don't know if you ever seen a Nigerian film. Whew. But
I've seen the pictures, and you told me about the lack of AC where you were staying, and that was
Nigeria.
where I drew the line.
There's a whole lot of imagination in a Nigerian film, but South Africa's not. They're not too far. They're not too far behind. But I just love the fact that it's just the passion. It was so much passion involved over there. I think over here we sometimes get comfortable. We complaining about trailer size and complaining about this and that and the food, and over there it's just like they just ecstatic to do it, and they really ain't getting paid, and it's like only like 3 or 4 people really getting paid on the set, and everybody don't care. They just like, they just love it. Their stunts, they ain't even trained. They risking their fucking life just to get the shot. You're like, yo, what the fuck are you doing? You gonna really let them hit you in the head with a real bat? Like, you just jumped on a real car and just really busted with us out with people in the car. And we're going to just go with that.
That's what you call love for the art.
Yes. Love for the art. Them motherfuckers love for the art, boy.
Oh my gosh. What was my dad saying the other night about when they were filming Ready to Rumble? You were there when he was discussing that, and they were talking about doing the stunt, and they had Sting go through the table 4 times.
No, I wasn't there for that.
I think okay, so it must have been the next day we were talking with Paul. So when they were filming Ready to Rumble, they were doing their own stunts because obviously they're there to be wrestlers. And they had Sting go through a table 4 times before my dad was finally like, that's it. No more. You got it. Whatever you got is going to have to work. He was like, because they were at that point, they got the shot, but then they were like wrestling fans. So they wanted to keep seeing it over and over again. He was like, no more. He's not doing it anymore. And he became like his agent almost. But that's interesting that there are some producers and filmmakers who do really want you to go all out with your stunts. And then there's some who are really protective.
Oh, yeah.
Like, roll down the 2 steps.
Yeah, so, that's not here. Like I did a stunt yesterday, and it was like this little cave I was going down there, and they like put a harness on me. I'm like, is this like a little small little kid? They're like, like SAG. They don't play that shit over here.
Right.
Over there, I mean, they had one dude. They put the how you shoot the squibs. They had the squibs on the dude's face and shit.
Oh yes, yeah.
This man ain't never done a stunt in his life. They just found him like somewhere. You want to do this? Like, yes, okay, my brother, I will do this. They just put shit in his face. I'm like, yo, bro, she's gonna explode. Like, he's like, fuck it. And the fucked up thing is, he had like a sheet over his head because he was playing the person I shot was supposed to be a female. but she was in the States. It was what's her name? Terry Vaughn.
Okay.
So Terry Vaughn, she didn't come back over when I went over there because she was filming something else. So this guy had to play her as a stunt. So he didn't even get to see who the hell this dude was. I'm like, dude, you getting shot in the face, and then they had when I shot him, he had to like fall over. So it was like some dude sitting down with his foot on the chair. When I shot, he just kicked the fucking chair over. I was like, yo, this shit is like wrong.
Yeah.
Yo, his hands was tied behind the chair in real life. I'm like, yo, this shit is raw.
Like you really can't get out. You're not actually supposed to tie him up.
Like this man, if we left right now, he'd just be stuck like in real life right now.
Right. It's like almost reality TV in a movie.
Mike, with your size and just your tough guy demeanor, because you seem like a sweet dude, but if I would have known you, dude, I'll be a little intimidated, to be quite honest. You never thought of getting into wrestling?
Man, when I was younger, that was like wrestling was like my religion when I was younger. But when I was younger, I thought about it. But like when you come from a small town, just like with acting, I've always wanted to be an actor somewhere in there in my mind, and a wrestler somewhere. But it was like in those small towns, it's not really a reality. So you're like, I just go to the military. I'll just do this. I got lucky because when I was I got a record deal in a small town in Pensacola because Ted Lucas heard about my music. They came up. So once that happened, that changed my mindset on like, wait a minute, I could be anywhere and do anything, But unfortunately, I was grown then, so I wasn't gonna try to go back and wrestle then.
Well, my dad started at 35, so.
Damn. Well, your dad's also like a freak of nature because he's like still more flexible than me now. So he's more flexible than me now, and I'm 40. So
yeah, no, he really is a freak of nature. But
dude, can you tell us a little bit about your upbringing? I've done a little research on you, and we have similarities, which unfortunately are not good ones in some ways. You had it rough growing up for getting evicted from homes. I went through all that shit myself, so I can completely relate. Fortunately, we've had a loss ourselves. My mom is no longer here. She's in a better place, hopefully. I think you went through something very similar. How did you overcome growing up?
Man, it's crazy. You say we got a lot in common. Growing up, the crazy thing about growing up is I always tell people this: I didn't realize that we were poor. I didn't realize we were in poverty. I didn't realize that, like moving every 2 months was like I thought it was just part of like this is what it is. You stay here for a little while, then you move somewhere else. And then, you would visit like maybe somebody in the church that was doing really well. You might go visit their house for Sunday dinner or something. You in there like, yo, what the hell is this? Like, this is a mansion. Like, like how they get all this stuff? But I don't know. When I think in hindsight, my childhood was amazing. It just was. When I think about it now, it's like, yo, damn, we had a rough ass childhood, but that's all I knew, so I didn't think it was rough.
Were you on food stamps?
Yeah, we was on food stamps for sure.
Did you have the booklet, or back then you guys had the card?
We had the booklet back then.
Shit, so did I, brother. Shit. Nothing was worse than my mom saying, hey, go to the store and get some shit. I'm like, oh, fuck. I would hide it in my pocket, cover that shit up, get to the register, look around quick, and rip it.
Yo, I swear one time, man, I'll never forget this. My mom, because, she was like, the same thing. She was like, hey, baby, you got to go to the store. You like, all right. And you like, please don't go get that fucking booklet out. And it's crazy. When you think about it now, it's funny because now you think about it, you're like, dude, we always on food stamps in the same neighborhood, but nobody wanted to admit it. We all living in the same poverty as neighborhood. But so I would go to the store. I remember one time I was in the store with my boys. So I'm looking around. Like, all right, cool. And I try to hurry up and rip it out the book, give it to her. She's like, 5, 10, 15 food stamps. I'm like, ma'am, god damn, lady. Yeah. You be paying with food stamps today? Yeah, thanks for the announcement. Everybody in this motherfucker know now.
Oh, is that what these are?
Right. Oh, I don't know what that is. I'm shopping for some lady, some poor lady down the street.
They're outside.
Right. I'm just doing my due diligence, my giving back.
I remember when the card came out, the plastic card.
The card
and I was already old, out of the game. I'm like, that's bullshit. These young kids get a fucking card and I gotta rip coupons and shit. Nah.
Man, you can't even sell the food stamps. Cause my mom used to buy, she used to sell her food stamps.
Oh yeah.
50 cents on the dollar, something like that. They was mad when the cards came out. They was pissed off. Man, these damn cards, you can't even make them money. They pissed off that the government is giving them some free shit. Now you can't even hustle it no more. This is bullshit.
Were you getting into a lot of fights and trouble back then?
Oh, hell yeah. Because I moved so much. I moved so much. You already know you in the hood, man. Well, you knew you gotta. It's like prison. It's like when I get here, I knew I gotta establish that I'm a wolf. I'm not a sheep. And for me, it was hard because I got that big ass dimple in my chin, and I was just like, oh, here come Babyface Mike coming to the new school, and some dude think he gonna come grab my milk or something. I gotta. And then it's fucked up because my parents. And my mom they was treating me like a gladiator. Like, all right, now you go to school, somebody mess with you, go and make an example. You're gonna have a long year if you don't. I'm like, all right, yes, ma'am. So I'm expected to get suspended at least once. That first dude, I got to do him real bad. So they got to talk about it while I'm suspended. Like, then he hit him with the chair, then he hit him with the book. He spit on him, he kicked him. And I come back to school like, hey, no problemo. I'm good now. My mom was a gangster. She used to always be like, what's the rule? And other parents would be like, if they hit you, you hit them back. She said, hell no. If you think they're going to hit you, you take off on their ass because the first hit might be the last. So I always hit first in school. I never got hit first. Like if somebody be like, man, I'm going to kick your ass. Well, that's a threat. I'm going in on you. So I never got in trouble. I would go home. I got in trouble one time for fighting because it was a girl. That was the only time I ever got a beating. Because my mom, fighting was just a part of the hood. You just had to be either going to fight in school or you're going to get bullied and your grades going to drop and you're going to get your ass with the home. So which one's it going to be? And I remember this girl named Nicole had a crush on me. And I didn't know. You kids, you don't know that the girl like you because she keep messing with you. So one day I said something mean to the girl because she was just, she was a disgusting girl back then. And why is she messing, And this girl tried to stab me with some fucking scissors, man.
How old are you?
She tried to stab me downward, like a real live, could kill you stab. So I'm defending myself. So I grabbed the scissors and I couldn't get them loose. So I started punching her. And I felt like I did a good job. I was okay. I saved my life today. I went home and my mom was like, I said, yeah, Mom, she tried to stab me with some scissors. She? I was like, did you hear the scissors part? Stab me? Or no, just her, she. She didn't give a damn about the scissors and she just her, she. So I had, my mom made all the men in my family give me a whooping.
Ooh, nice.
She said, this is what happens to men that hit women. They go to jail and get beat up by other men. I'm like, damn. Even when they're trying to stab you?
What kind of school were you going to?
Area. No loopholes, you're saying. Just to clarify.
Right. So I'm open for stabbings right now because my mom scarred me. I can't. All right, as a woman, let me go ahead and just die here. Just fuck it. Go ahead.
What's so funny about Mike's raising is that his mom, all the stories I have heard, is very gangster and very street savvy, and she is Mike's strong personality. She's your core to that. But then you have the balance because your father is a police officer.
This is my father. This is my mom, and my dad's on the other side. There's dad. Here's my soft side. My father, who's huge like me. but then the gangster is mom.
It's like a perfect balance.
A perfect balance, because it's like you would see them too and be like, oh man, the cute little lady, and then the big old man is like, no, it's like the opposite. Like she would shoot you. Like she would really shoot you for real.
That's like, wait, where'd my gun go?
And my dad's like, where's my gun? I was waiting for you at home, Dad. She saw the earrings. She's gonna shoot. Damn it, why is everybody calling my phone? All right, we good. Wait a minute. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Really good balance.
Yeah, Dad, my father is like, oh my God. He is like the nicest human being on earth. My dad is like the most honest, most like, I'm waiting like for a cuss word or something. I'm like, this man, he just won't mess up. I'm like, dude, when are you gonna just say fuck this? Like something, give me something, Dad. My dad is like Officer of the Year. LeBron James hired him as his personal that school he has. Right. He was LeBron James' mentor when he was a kid. So LeBron hired my father as the resource officer of his school. Oh, nice. Like he just one time, here's my dad's story. I'm gonna give you my dad's story and I'm gonna give you my mom's story. So one day, me and my dad was riding home from school, and what he would do whenever he would get off work, he would put a sweater on over his uniform. And I was little. I'm like, Dad, shit, you know, man, have your bags so we can drive fast. He like, no, son, that's not what this is for. I'm off of work and I'm just gonna wear I don't want people to see this. We ride home and shit. And it was his bag. My father, if he sees trash, he would stop the car and get out and move the trash. This is a safety hazard. It's like, dude, let somebody else do it. So one day, it was his bag on the side of the road. He pulls over, he get the bag and shit. He get in the car. He like, oh my God, there's money in here. I'm like, yes.
That was a drop, dog. That was a drop.
Thank you, Lord. Jesus, thank you.
We don't have to use the food stamps this week.
We got to use the food stamps. Because people that know police officers are poor too. So I'm like, yes, God. All this risking his life for $30,000 a year. You came through, God. Thank you. Oh. He's like, we got to turn this in. I'm like, turn what in? To who? What are you talking about? Why would you turn in your blessing, Dad? This isn't ours, son. This isn't ours. So this motherfucker turns around, you turn. He hightailing it back to the police station. I'm like, the whole time I'm trying to talk him out of it. Dad, please don't do this. You're going to ruin our life. Trying to trust me. God is watching. I'm like, God probably put the money down there for you, man. Damn. So we get to the police station. He go in there, and I think they gave him like a bike or some shit. Like it was like, if no one claims it in a certain time, he get like $100 or something, some shit. And he's like, don't worry about it. It's fine. He didn't take the $100. You were fucking tripping. So
I will. Hi, I'm his son. I'll take that.
I would have took the 11,000 and been, Lord, you were so good. I'd have been to church on Sunday. Lord, what's my new shoes on? God is good, amen.
Yeah, you don't turn blessings like that away.
Come on. I'm like, Pop, what are you doing? So that's him. That's my father's story. My mom's story. One day we was riding. I guess the babysitter didn't show up, so I had to go. And it was this big argument between my uncle and my mom on why I shouldn't I shouldn't go. I'm just like, I don't know what's happening, but I'm riding the car. So we ride down the car, and it's just a weird ride. It's real quiet, and they all doing this shit, looking around. So all of a sudden, we pull up to the back of this building, and I'm like, "Where the hell are we?" And all of a sudden, one of the back doors open, and out comes a microwave, and all these just appliances come out the back door, and they just loading this truck up, and we just sitting in the car. I'm just like, this is so weird. I don't understand what's going on. I'm a kid in this dark ass alley. My mom is looking around this shit. My uncle is in my stepdad grabbing shit out the shit. So we load up and we leave. I'm asleep by the time we get home. I wake up in the morning, and we in the hood. This is back when microwaves first came out. You didn't have no microwave in the hood. I come out to the front. We got microwave, we got stereo system, and mom she's, you know what I'm saying, she's smoking the weed, the music bumping. Hey, baby, you know, she just jamming.
We made it.
Microwaves and shit. She gave my auntie a microwave, baby, come get your microwave. We had speaker systems.
You get a microwave.
I was like, oh, man, this is a blessing, you know. So I guess my uncle was working at Renter Center or one of the stores, and he fucked around and got the key. So the whole family just had appliances and shit.
I must say, I definitely have a lot more in common with your mom than I do with your dad.
So what you're telling me is that there's a high possibility that microwave you gave us when you visited Ivan,
Exactly.
So I got a good balance. You can't drop $11,000 around me, but I won't steal it. But you can't drop it. I'm right in between my mom and dad.
Right. I'm actually on that.
How do you feel when it comes to all of the issues, unfortunately, that we'd be having with police? You know, it seems like forever. It's never stopped. You're kind of, you know, your dad being a police officer and obviously you respecting that profession. Do you feel kind of caught in the middle in regards to everything that's going on or no?
Yeah, sometimes I do, because I've experienced those things. You know, it's inevitable, but then I understand his side too. It's like he want to get to his family. You know what I'm saying? So I have it's a sensitive thing in talking about that around him. You know, because I could tell he don't like talking about that. I had brought it up when I went home last time, trying to have a conversation. I could tell he don't like, because he's kind of torn too. You know what I mean? But then what happens is I tell people this, is like, it shouldn't be an attack on police, because we need police. We need police. Like, if something crazy going on, we gonna dial 911. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, but they're still not coming out. They're still not coming where you live or where I live.
Exactly. In my experience, when I called 911, and I had somebody break in my house one time. Now, if I'm in Ohio, it's different because of who my father is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get different treatment with my father because everybody know, oh, that's Mike's son. So they don't look at me as a threat. But other places where my father's not a police officer, it's a little different. You know, it's a lot different. It's a lot different. So I do feel torn. I feel torn between the two sometimes, because it's like I'm having conversations with my friends and they're like, man, fuck the police. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. But, you know, my aunt, my father, they police officers. They ain't around here just, you know, I just feel like the police officers that's doing it, my issue is there needs to be some strict enforcement on them. You know what I'm saying? Like, if a person, all right, if you do this as an individual, then we need to give you a motherfucking, you need to go to prison. It shouldn't be, oh, well, maybe they did. We see it's clear cut and clear. Okay, send his ass to prison. We shouldn't defund. I don't believe in defunding the police. That's dumb. Why you want to defund the police? You're gonna just get shot with an old gun instead of a new gun. They ain't gonna change nothing. I think we just need to the individuals that's doing it, because it's the same thing. It's like, is it like, well, let's abuse the black people? No. Let's arrest the black people? No. Let's arrest the people that's doing shit wrong. It's the same thing with the police. If this police officer doing this bullshit, the issue is they're not being held accountable. That's the issue for me.
There's no accountability. There's no
accountability.
No policing of the police force.
Yeah, like, man, put that motherfucker in the gas chamber or electric chair his ass too. Don't give him no break because he's a police officer. You know, my dad, man, my father is one of the most fair people in the world. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like police officers like that. Like, I've had people, when I go home, I always have my homeboys, they street dudes. We from the projects, you know what I'm saying? A police officer is not, and people be thinking that they don't make money like that. Like, my dad, he good now because he been on the force 20-something years and saved his money, got an 800 credit score. But starting off, you making $29,000 a year, you ain't making no money. We in the hood too. So all my friends, they street dudes. So they be like, man, your pop, man, man, Yo, tell him I said thank you about what happened, man. I'm like, what happened? I don't want to talk about it, but just know your pop looked out for me, man. Like, I'm so grateful. You know, so when I'm in Ohio, man, like the most dangerous dudes, they love me because they like your father. Even the ones he's arrested before. You know, like I've been arrested before, and when I got arrested, I never forget this. It was an officer. He was a white officer. We was in Florida, and he arrested me, took me to jail and everything. And then I told him when I got in the cell, I was like, "Thank you, man." He was like, because he just did his job. You know what I'm saying? He did his job. Something happened. I didn't want to tell on my people, so they took me to jail. That's part of the game. I get it, but he wasn't like harassing me and wasn't, he made sure the handcuffs was cool. He double locked them, but he didn't put them down, and he took me to jail.
But that's the key. That's the key right there, man. The respect.
He respected me.
And I think for people that been, that had it rough before, that's the disconnect that we have the police. You could do your job, but it's how you do your job.
How you do your job.
And your pop sounds like he's old school. He's going to treat you fair, but you got these young cats out there that when you look at them, they look like another gang in the street. Everybody's tatted up. They make a call for a traffic stop. You got 6 cars rolling up, and I think that's when things escalate and the problems really start.
It's fear. The issue is you putting people into a community to patrol them that are afraid of those people. Like if they took me right now, let's say it took me and my homeboys, and they took us and put us in Nigeria. It was like, here's a gun, here's a badge, you're in charge of these people. We already is like the way like their culture, the way they move is a little rougher than ours to us, and like we scared. So now fear is this fear. That's scared. They scared. The cops is pulling up guns. It ain't all just I hate black people. I am afraid of what I don't understand. So those people shouldn't be. When I was in the special forces, even back then, I noticed that back then. I'm working with guys who probably seen 12 black people in their whole life. So now they had a different, being around me and working alongside of me, they had a different understanding. Like, oh damn, this dude is just like Mike Silly. He big and shit, but he's silly and cool. Ain't got a mama and daddy and family. A different understanding, and they kind of remove that fear. But if they take me and somebody else who ain't never been and don't understand a particular community and give us a gun and a badge, we gonna be shooting motherfuckers because we gonna be scared of them. That's what it is. And all that tough talk and all that tough shit, them motherfuckers is scary. You know what I'm saying? Because you ain't gonna do that shit without. If you put that same person into a room with one of them little dudes they be shooting at with no gun, 9 times out of 10, they're gonna be a whole different. It's gonna be a very respectful, nice person that's respecting this person they don't understand. But if you give them a gun and a badge and throw them into a neighborhood and they don't understand these people, they're gonna be afraid and they're gonna be shooting motherfuckers. That's why when they pull people over that look like them, it ain't, like I said, it ain't all. Some people are racist and bigots, but it's not all that. A lot of it is just fear. That's what it is.
Do you remember the city of Homestead when you were in Miami?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Homestead, South.
Okay. So I was talking to a state representative for that district, 117, Kevin Chambliss, last week. About 2 years ago, a black man got shot by the police in Homestead. Could you believe that 2 years ago in the city of Homestead, they had no body cams or auto cams for the police? So there's no proof whatsoever of what happened. So they have just started to allocate funds, and right now 30% of the police department has cams. How is that happening in a city in the United States when you can monitor the police and what they're doing? You know?
Well, like Britt said, police don't have police. You know, like when we was over, and to be honest, all the way honest and transparent, we was over there doing our thing and, doing Operation Enduring Freedom, it was less police over us. And I saw people taking advantage of their power and exercising their fear against prisoners of war. You just got to have people, once somebody get in a position where they feel godlike, their fear takes over and they can just exemplify their fear and violence and all type of other ways. So people don't like being held accountable. You know, if you got somebody over you that's not your homeboy, that's not your friend. Because I remember one time it was a situation where somebody wrote a report on me and my supervisor gave me the complaint and had me respond to it. Because it's kind of like it's like we all together. That's how the police work. You know what I'm saying? That's how they work. When something happens, I remember when I had got the military and I worked at the jail. I'm in that jail.
You were a correction officer?
I was a correction officer.
Oh shit! You were Rick Ross?
I was Rick Ross, baby. Without the millions of dollars. But I remember when I was like, I can't do this shit, man. I remember there was this dude, and this shit, it bothered me so much. It was a young black dude. And the motherfucker, he was rowdy. And to me, I think he was something wrong with this boy, man. He was like always bucking, always wanting to fight. But he was a little young dude, and I would have conversations with him. He wasn't educated. He was a little slow to me. But they would fuck him up, you know what I'm saying? So one time they had got him out the cell. He was bucking, he didn't want to do something. And they got him out the cell. And I talked him down, like, hey man, just put the cuffs on, man. I ain't trying to be here fighting with you and shit, man. And I had never had no fights because I could always talk to these dudes because I'm like, shit, they from where I'm from. We can have a conversation. I'm not afraid. I could walk into the cell and talk to them. Hey, man, bro, I ain't trying to wrestle with your big ass and all this shit. And come on, bro, just put this shit, just eat the food or whatever, and we'll laugh it out. But then when you come in there, you say with that, then that person, that testosterone, that's a man. If he an alpha man, he gonna say, back, motherfucker. Now you got to fight. So I talked him into the handcuffs. He put the handcuffs on, came out the cell, and when we was going to the elevator, it was me, one of the good old boys, and we walked in the elevator. We was sitting there. As soon as that we got down, the dude wasn't fighting nothing. The door opened, and it was a group of other officers right there. As soon as he like tripped him and made it seem like he was fighting and shit, and man, they fucked that boy up in them handcuffs. And I was sitting there like, what the fuck? And I was an FTO. Like I was still in training. So I didn't have no say so or nothing. So then they went down to the infirmary and the lieutenant was in there and he was like, when I came in there, they all sitting down together with their police reports or their reports or whatever. And he was just like, Mike, we're gonna have you step on this one because technically you're not certified yet to be filling out reports. But I've been filling out reports. It's just because I know that because y'all about to sit here together and then come together with the support. Everybody make sure they write the same thing because the paperwork, if there's anything wrong in the paperwork, then that's where that's when legally motherfuckers get fucked up. Right. So we're gonna sit here together and write this shit out together to all even out the same thing. So that's what I said. I can't do this shit, man.
Yeah, no, it has to be done right and fair. And
yeah, so it definitely just needs to be. It just got to be. This is what I say too. People got to stop being so docile. Different cultures of people. This was I know this about us. When I say us, as black folks, when you're very docile and always begging somebody and marching and begging and pleading, a person who has the mindset of a conqueror they don't empathize with you. You know what I mean? I learned that from special forces, being in the military. I learned that from the government. We've never begged other countries to stop doing this and stop. We don't beg motherfuckers and plead and hope, come on, please. And we don't sing, we should overcome all that bullshit when somebody doing shit to us as a country, because that's not the American way. But black folks got to stop being so damn docile and just they not being offensive. But think about when the last time you heard about an Arabic person being shot unarmed in America by police?
I don't know any off the top of my head.
You don't hear that because you know what? They ain't finna march about shit.
White people are the most dangerous group right now in this country. White people.
I've been trying to tell Micah I'm very dangerous.
All right, fuck it. Brittany beats me, everybody. Brittany,
Cut.
you stabbed me with the scissors.
Gotta go.
but Mike,
Wait, Mike, I know where you.
Mike, but you're right. I completely agree. I'm a minority. I'm Cuban from Miami. Actually, in Miami, I'm a majority, but everywhere in the country, I'm a minority.
Especially in South Miami.
And I think that's the problem. I think Black people have been way too nice for way too long.
Yeah,
and they've been taken advantage of. They're everything from affirmative action to anything that has been passed. You guys have to fight for it, for every little inch, and you've done it the peaceful way and the right way. I'm all about the Black Lives Movement. I actually have the founder of the LA chapter coming on next week. I'm a huge supporter, and I really think that the younger generation, because Britt, you're still young. I think me and Mike, we're old over here. We're old heads.
34 this year.
Yeah, you're a baby. I think the younger generation, honestly, has to put some sort of plan and do whatever you got to do to get the message across, because shit doesn't change. Black people are still getting killed today like they were getting killed 80 years ago. It's a different cop, but it's the same uniform and it's the same color of skin. So some shit's got to change. That's just what I feel.
It's got to be. I mean, I feel like if you have a dog, I tell people all the time like this: if I have a dog right here, well, let's say not fuck the dogs. If I have a person right here, and a person right here, one on my right, one on my left, and this I learned this in the military. If I just like slapping people for no fucking reason, and if I slap this guy on the right, and he just decides to march around the block with a sign, and I slap this motherfucker on the left, and he cut my hand off, who am I going to slap again with that other hand, the good hand I got left? So it's not. I just think people need to be peaceful. But one thing that we as Americans, as a country, all of the war is supposed to be to maintain peace, right? Like, why do people not come? Why do people not come just take over America? Why do people not just come in here fucking with us? Because your hand gonna get cut off. We are not a marching country. We don't fucking march and beg, and we'll drop bombs on your shit with everybody in the house. That's how we get down. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like whenever shit happened on the inside, because we have been trained as Black people to have this docile, we waiting on Jesus to come back and save us from everything. That shit right there, it programs us to be like that. Like, but when it comes to each other, oh, you better not step on my motherfucking shoes, because I will shoot you, your grandmama, your sister, your cousin. It's programming, bro.
Hey, Jordans are expensive, dog. I feel them though. Shit, somebody steps on your $200 Nikes, you're gonna hurt somebody.
You shot my brother in the back. I'm gonna march, but you stepped on my shoe, motherfucker. You gotta die. It's just like, I don't know, bro. I honestly, I've been so focused now on just being a creator and trying to just create generational wealth and just create money to try and just come a different way. Because my thought process, I think like a warrior, you know what I'm saying? And other people, when I remember when the George Floyd shit was happening, when the George Floyd shit happened, and I thought I thought it was an uprise. I show up and these brothers out here with flip-flops on and tank tops and the pants hanging off their ass. I'm like, what the fuck is this? This ain't like dancing, twerking in front of the police and shit, body, yada, yada, yada. Like, what is this? How are we gonna get something done with this shit? So I was like, I'm going home. I'm not marching with this shit. So I took my ass back home. So now I'm like, you know what? Because I got that old school mindset and we don't have that now. Now we have a very docile mindset. I'm not about to go here by myself and just get shot up. Fuck no. So I gotta just figure out how to get this bag up and create opportunities for people to just to be educated, because that's pretty much the only thing that's going to help at this point is being educated. Yeah, educated on like how to create something. Not educated on how to work for somebody, educated on how to be up under somebody, educated on how to crop with your farm. And like, if you a kid, let's teach kids how to do their taxes, and you know what I mean? Fuck all this other shit we teaching in school. Fuck all of that. Like teaching the kids about real estate and teaching kids about investing, not saving, like things that really matter. The things we weren't taught in public school. So that's my plan, is to come up with some kind of program like that. But now I know if I keep my mind on what's going on out here, knowing that the army I have with me want to pussy pop for the police and be on TikTok and shit, men my size is twerking and shaking their ass instead of trying to fight back, then I'm not. I just got to find a different approach, right. You know, because I go crazy and just be mad all the fucking time. You know what I mean? Because I was so mad for so long. But I'm like, I'm not doing nothing but making myself sick. Right. Just being mad all the time, because it's like, what's gonna change? These men still gonna be out here booty shaking and shit. They ain't ready to get out there and do nothing about it. So I'm not about to go here by myself. Shit.
Right.
Yeah, I ain't crazy. So fuck it. We gotta just figure, just make some money, make money and pray.
Well, that's the beauty of platform too. Going back to what you said about being on TV and exposure, having that to be able to educate and to reach. I mean, you're a little over 100,000 followers now on Instagram, and I mean, you can reach. I mean, if you, let's say at any given time, 10% of your followers are on there, so
yeah,
10,000 people in a matter of seconds. That's invaluable in itself. So you do. I see. Me and Mike had a difference of opinions many years ago, and he blocked me on Instagram, and I actually had to call him like a year later.
I need to know.
Lost. I would still talk to him on the phone, but I remember
we still friends.
Like, Mike, unblock me on Instagram. This is ridiculous.
I need to know. Give me the dirt. Breaking news on Cafecito and Tattoos.
Politics.
We were still friends.
Do not discuss on this one. If you want to speak politics, you can go back on a Wednesday.
Look, we were still friends in real life, though.
Right? No, I would still see him. I would still talk to him, but I don't remember something. I don't know. Jay said something about your Instagram, and I'm like, oh, Instagram. Completely forgot. And I'm like, if you don't unblock me from Instagram.
I love it.
We can go at it right under his comments too. Now I don't do that anymore. I was very young.
Brittany be trying to go at me, bro. She used to come on my comments. I'm like, Brittany, we know each other. What are you doing? First of all, what the fuck? I can't fight with the fans and you, Britt. Like, what the hell's going on here?
Block.
Mike, am I blocked? I was like, not in real life.
No.
I love you.
Later tonight, right?
All right, you had dinner. You had dinner,
dude. Just be true to yourself, man, and your beliefs and your values. You serve this country. Your dad is a police officer. If anyone has the right to say whatever the fuck they want, I think you're that type. So don't hold back, man. We appreciate your honesty, and it comes across. We know that it comes from a good place.
Thank you, brother. Thank you so much, man. That's my thing. I always say I'm never, ever gonna try to say anything to. I don't aim, because my mom used to always say. She used to always say, the only thing you could ever say that's wrong is something you are saying with the intention to offend somebody. So if you ever about to open your mouth and you trying to offend, that is your mission in that statement. Do not say it, because you are already wrong. But just if you truthful, being truthful and being honest and speaking from the heart, then even when people disagree, they still can accept you. So that's what I try to do. I try to never. I've had times where I was upset about something and wanted to say something to offend somebody, and I hear my mind in my ear. I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna say it, because I know right now in my heart that I'm saying this to try to offend somebody. So I'm not gonna say it.
To get the reaction.
I never do that. I'm only gonna speak of what I really feel, can stand on, and if it's something that people are like, oh, we're canceling Mike, I can live with it, because it's like, well, this is who I am. So if this is not who you guys want, then I totally understand being canceled because this is who I really am, raw, so.
Well, man,
it's obviously gotten you far from where you started to where you are now and working on, like big shows. These are just little indie films and like these are real big things. And when can we expect for Raising Dion to so I can see?
I don't know.
Am I allowed to discuss who you are?
I gotta say, I can't tell you who I am, but I gotta say this about Brittany. Brittany she is, somebody who bridged the gap when it comes to the idea of anybody saying, "Oh man, white people don't this and white people don't that." I always think about Brittany first, and my boy Tim comments. What up, Tim? If you're watching, but I always think about somebody who Brittany is, who really genuinely. And my cousin told me that a long time. My cousin is a straight. He hood. He got goals and shit in his mouth.
We love that.
and he told me, he was like, "Man, this woman right here, man." Because I met her through him. He was like, "This is one of the best people I ever met." He said she's just such a great person, and she just really has love for everybody in her heart, and it's so genuine. And it don't matter what color you are. Brittany love you. She love your ass.
She's welcome to the barbecue anytime.
Any damn time. Brittany, I will give Brittany a whole package of food stamps and let her go to. Yeah, that's my baby, man. That's my family right there. I love her, man. She's a great, great person, man. Great person.
Thank you.
For sure.
That's very
so when you come down to Miami next time, I did some research on you. And I know that you're a fan of chicken wings.
Hell yeah.
And specifically blue cheese, right?
Ooh, me.
So I got a spot for you right by my crib, Sports Grill. I don't know if you've ever been there, but they got about 5 locations, man. The wings are out of control. So next time you're in Miami, hit me up.
Let's do it, brother.
Maybe you come down in when is it, June?
Yeah, June.
11th through 13th?
From the 11th through the 13th, we're going to have a b-boy competition, breakdance, DJ.
Oh shit!
Yeah. So if you're in town, man, feel free to stop on by. I'll take care of you.
Man, thank you, brother. Thanks for having me on here, man. You're a real dude. We got you, my light skinned twin. We got everything in common. Not just the tattoos, the bald head, and the beard.
Except the physique, we're exactly the same.
I'll have to let you know how this first DDPY workout goes with Mike. Ivan's was very, very interesting.
I'm scared.
Shit, dude, that shit's rough, bro. Well, you're in shape, but true DDP, he's in a different level. Seriously, from the food, the hydration, the mental space to be in, plus DDPY, I can't hang for real. I'm just not cut out for that life.
But explain why because I thought about it, I was like, damn. But it explains why in life, the people that are elite. They're elite at what they do. If you one of the greatest, you're in a hall of fame. You're one of the greatest of all time of anything. Your mindset is different. You know what I'm saying? It is a different mindset. The discipline, like the things we read about, try to master. That particular person has already mastered it, and you can just see when I talk to him, I can look in his eyes and see who's calling me. Shit. But when I talk to him, I can
That's
look at
that chick from Ready to Love. That one you were working on the side, dog.
That's my sister. Let me see. This is Gina, y'all.
Hi, Gina. How are you?
Hi.
How are you? How are you?
You gotta face the camera down so Mike, I can't see them. Okay, there we go. Hi.
How you doing today, young lady?
I'm good. How are y'all?
We're doing excellent.
Doing wonderful. Now, something about Gina. Gina's actually the tough one in the family. She's the person that keeps Mike in check.
Exactly. I like her. I didn't know
it's good to see you.
Call me back.
I'll call you back. I'm talking about mom and how gangster mom is.
How I took after her.
Huh?
And how I took after her.
Oh, God. You ain't take after her.
All right.
Love you.
I love you.
All right.
No.
Hey, it's great to see all the love you're getting, Mike. I love it. Your friends are calling you. You got your sister calling you. Everybody's showing you love. I love it.
They be trying to call me and be nosy. What you doing? Where you at? Well, listen, man, I'm about to go do this audition. Look, I love y'all. I appreciate it. It's been motherfucking real. I'm glad y'all let me curse.
We'll have to interview you after your first Oscar.
Oh yes, then I'll be talking like this. Well, Michael is a very sophisticated individual.
Excuse me, hello. Who are you?
Yeah, I laugh like that.
No, really. Thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it. I know you're so busy with filming and 7 hours a day of makeup.
Sorry.
Hey, thank you so much for being on the show, man. We truly appreciate it. Best of luck in all your projects, and we look forward to seeing you soon, okay?
Thanks for having me. It was wonderful.
Bye,
Take care.
Mike.
All right.